Let's be real. We've all had that moment where we're buried in our books thinking, this is it. This is the day I finally get my grades back on track. But then hours go by, your brain feels fried, and by the next morning, you can't even remember what you studied. Meanwhile, there's always that one person, barely opens their notes, skims through a few pages, and somehow walks out with top grades. Here's the thing. It's not your fault. Most of us were taught to study by cramming and memorizing, which, let's be honest, only works for about 5 minutes. Real learning? It's about understanding, applying, and remembering things so well they feel like second nature. So, what if there was a smarter way? A way to learn faster, work less, and still get the results you want? Let me show you how. First, let's talk about where you're studying. Picture this. Your phone's buzzing, your desk looks like a tornado hit it, and the TV is blaring in the background. Sound like your typical setup? The truth is, your environment makes a huge difference. Research from the University of California found that distractions like phone notifications can slash your productivity by almost 40%. The fix? Start with a clean space. Turn off those notifications. Yes, all of them. And maybe throw on some chill instrumental music if that's your thing. And if you're still feeling stuck, try switching it up. Head to a quiet cafe, library, or even just another corner of your house. Sometimes, a fresh environment is all it takes to get back in the zone. But even with the perfect setup, most people still make this classic mistake. They try to study everything. It's like drinking from a fire hose. Too much information, too fast, and most of it doesn't stick. Here's where the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule, saves the day. It's simple. 80% of your results come from just 20% of your effort. Let's say you're learning a new language. Instead of trying to memorize every single word in the dictionary, focus on the 1,000 most common words. They'll cover 80% of your daily conversations. Or if you're prepping for an exam, skip the fluff and zero in on what the teacher repeats, what's in the practice tests, or what feels foundational. A study in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that students who prioritized key concepts performed significantly better than those who tried to learn everything. Less is more, my friend. Now here's the fun part, testing yourself. Most people reread their notes over and over, hoping it'll stick. Spoiler alert, it might, but just for a few minutes. Instead, try active recall. Research from Harvard University found that quizzing yourself is one of the most effective ways to learn. Why? Because it forces your brain to dig deep and retrieve information, which strengthens memory. After studying, close your notes and try explaining the key points from memory. Or grab some flashcards and test yourself. But no sneaky peeks until you've given it a real shot. Think of it like lifting weights for your brain. It's tough, but that's what makes it work. Speaking of getting better, there's one thing most people avoid, tackling the hard stuff. Let's be real, it's easier to stick to what you're good at because it feels, well, good. But that's not how you grow. This is where deliberate practice comes in. It's not about repeating what you already know, it's about targeting your weaknesses. For example, if you're studying math and always mess up solving quadratic equations, don't skip over them. Instead, break them down. Work through them step by step, and keep practicing until they start to make sense. It might feel frustrating at first, but that's exactly where the progress happens. But let's be real, even with these techniques, your brain has limits. Trying to power through for hours without a break, that's a recipe for burnout. Instead, try the Pomodoro technique. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Research from the University of Illinois shows that short, focused bursts are way more effective than long, drawn-out sessions. And those breaks, use them to stand up, stretch, or grab a snack. It's like hitting the refresh button for your brain. Okay, here's the ultimate hack. Teach what you learn. I know it sounds weird. How can you teach something you're still learning? But here's the thing. Teaching forces you to organize your thoughts and explain concepts clearly, which deepens your understanding. Think about it. If you can explain something in simple terms, like you're talking to a 5-year-old, it means you've truly understood it. So, next time you're learning something new, Try explaining it to a friend, writing it out step by step, or even pretending to teach an invisible audience. It might feel awkward at first, but trust me, it works. And here's something most people overlook: sleep. It's not just downtime. Your brain uses it to recover and sort through everything you've learned, like hitting save on a computer. Research from Harvard shows that students who sleep 7 to 8 hours before an exam perform significantly better than those who pull all-nighters. So treat rest like part of the learning process, not just a break. Your brain will thank you. Before we finish, let's talk about something that can make or break your learning: your mindset. A lot of people get stuck because they think they need to be good at something right away. But learning is a process. It's about showing up, making mistakes, and improving over time. Every expert you admire started out as a beginner, struggling just like you. The real key is to focus on growth. Instead of worrying about where you are now, think about where you're headed and the progress you're making along the way. That's what really matters. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.